The famous Trijicon REAP-IR. We're doing the full review this week. Here we go. Hey y'all, it's Hans. Welcome back. So we're checking out the Trijicon REAP-IR this week. As you know, it's famous in the thermal game, having the best picture image in the business. We talked about this on the Late Night Vision Show podcast, which you can find on iTunes, Google Play, anywhere that you find podcasts. But go check out the YouTube channel. It's the Late Night Vision Show. We did a full review on there. But what's different here is this week on the HansETX channel, you're going to get a chance to see videos through it. I'm going to talk about what I like about it, which there's a lot to like about the Trijicon REAP-IR. And I want to be plain and simple and a little blunt here. This has the best picture image in the game. There's Trijicon known for the picture quality, and there's no doubt about it. You look through the scope, you will not be dissatisfied. But at the same time, at the end of this video, I want to talk about some things that you need to know about the scope. You know, this is a $8,000 scope. There's a lot to love about this scope, but there's also some things that you need to know about it as well. So we're going to get a chance to look around it, look through it. We're going to look at some videos that you'll get a chance to see some different animals at different yardages, give you a chance to just decide for yourself what you think the best choice would be for you if you're looking for a thermal scope. But to be plain and simple, the Trijicon REAP-IR, it's a 640 by 480 resolution scope. It's got the best picture in the game. Right now, let's run down the specs. All right, the Trijicon REAP-IR, we're going to run down the specs right now. So just to start out, like I briefly said before, it's got a 640 by 480 thermal core resolution. It's a 12 micron BAE core, which right now is the top in the game as far as picture quality. There's no doubt about it. The price on this optic, it's $7,999, so it's basically $8,000. It starts out on a 2.5 power magnification and goes all the way up to 20 power. It's a 35 millimeter objective lens on it. It does have a eyepiece focus, and it's got something interesting. It's basically got an internal digital focus that you don't turn a dial like some scopes are here on the front. It's actually done internally and it's digital. So it's a digital focus, which is pretty cool. I like that option a lot. Also it runs on two CR123A batteries, and it does not have the internal video recorder on this. So I want to talk about what you need some accessories wise, just so you know when you get this out in the field, what options you have for recording and for battery options. So the first thing you're probably going to want is an Anker battery set. This plugs right into the wall and charges, and then plugs into your scope. This right now runs about $329, but if not, you're just using the basic two of the CR123A batteries. And let me tell you, this is a 60 megahertz scope, and you have the option to change it from 30 hertz to 60 hertz. But when it's on 60 hertz, it eats batteries like crazy. So you're going to want one of these battery packs. It basically just has a pouch. It can strap right to the stock of your rifle, and it plugs right in the scope. It gives you optimum battery power. It runs a long time, and it also gives you the chance to recharge it and put it back on the scope. If you're not, you're just buying a ton of batteries all the time, and that's not expensive. Those CR123A batteries are not cheap at all. So that battery pack, $329. As I said, it doesn't have the internal video recorder. So if you're going to want to record video, you're going to need the cable that you can purchase separately with this. It plugs right into the side of the scope right here, plugs into there, and then plugs right into your MDVR. So the cable is around $189. The MDVR to record video is another $199. I will tell you this, at Outdoor Legacy Gear, when you do purchase the Trijicon REAP-IR, you will get all of these accessories included in. So, it's about a $750 value once you put everything in there and all the other accessories that come with it. So there's a lot of value when you purchase it from Outdoor Legacy Gear. But I want you to know these accessories, if you're purchasing it somewhere else, you're going to want these things, because if you want to record video, some of you may say, hey, I don't care about recording video, and that's fine, but you're probably still going to want the rechargeable battery pack to go with it, just so you have longer runtime. Like I said, those batteries really, the CR123A batteries really eat up really quick. As far as color palettes, it's got the standard white hot, black hot that you'd find on any normal scope. It's got edge detect mode, which is kind of a neat feature. There's no color palettes, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of scopes out there that have color palettes, and I never like any of them, and I never use any of them. They're cool to kind of look at, but as far as hunting and scanning, they're really not practical. So the fact that it doesn't have any type of, weird color palettes or anything like that doesn't bother me at all. This is, the Trijicon REAP-IR, unbelievable pictures out of it. And I want to show you some video right now so you can check it out. On the other side of the videos, we're going to talk about some things where I think the door is open for some of these other thermal scope companies to start really competing with Trijicon, and not just with the quality of their scopes, but some of the additional add-ons that they're including on with some of the other thermal scope companies out there. So check out the videos. We'll see you right on the other side of it. All right, so the videos that you saw, I want to let you know what you saw. The video quality on those videos look pretty good. I'm going to tell you right now, that was not filmed with an MDVR. And the reason why is because the quality of the video that you get on the MDVR is not great, and not great at all. And what we want to do is when we show you these reviews and videos, we want to make sure that you get the best video that you're looking at on this channel, and they're doing the reviews that does the scope justice. Basically something that's more like what you see through the scope. And if you're looking at a video through an MDVR, it really doesn't do that. So what you saw were videos of me with a cell phone behind, taking the eye cup off, and a cell phone behind the eyepiece. Now, that is the best way to get the best picture if you're trying to show people what the image looks like through the scope. But for hunting, not very practical. It's not a great way to do it. It's very hard to do hunting and recording with the cell phone behind the eyepiece. It's not easy to do. But what I wanted to do for this review is to show you and give you a better representation of what the scope looks like through the eyepiece, and not a very distorted image through the MDVR. So just so you know that is filmed with a cell phone. So run down again what I like. We talked about the specs. Obviously, Trijicon, best picture quality in the game. The REAP-IR is, definitely in that category with the picture quality. I don't think you're going to find anything similar right now with any other thermal companies out there. And that's what Trijicon's known for, and they charge a premium for that, and they sell a lot of scopes, and they do a good job doing it. So right now, best picture in the game. Not going to find anything else better. I also like the digital focus on the scope. I think that is a really neat feature. It's unlike anything you see, with some of the other scopes out there. So the digital focus is a really neat feature. I do like the eye cup. The eye cup's a little bit different. You kind of just press your face against it and it opens up. Some people don't really care for that eye cup. Some people take them off. I didn't mind it. I actually kind of liked it. I thought it was a neat little feature, and it kind of keeps some of the weather and dust off of that screen, the eyepiece screen. So I thought that was another neat feature. As far as controlling the scope itself, it does have a joystick here, or a thumbstick, whatever you want to call it. I didn't find it to be an issue at all. After you get used to it, holding the joystick down for a long press will send you to a menu, which allows you to change many different settings. Also, the side end process was not difficult at all. Picked it right up and was able to get it figured out right away. Anything else as far as the positives, just keep going back to the picture image. It's an unbelievable picture. But what I want to talk about right now is some of the things that I would love to see some changes on, which I don't know or think we might with the Trijicon brand. But just some things that I noticed that I want all of you out there that are interested in buying something like this should know. First of all, the what we call is the nuke process, or basically it's just the recalibration of the screen. As you know, if you've used thermal before, from time to time the screen has to be refreshed and recalibrated. With some of the other scopes out there, the other manufacturers, they either have an automatic refresh where it just counts down and automatically refreshes, or a semi-automatic where all you have to do is push a button. This is a manual nuke process or recalibration process, which basically means you'll get a message on the screen that tells you the scope needs to be recalibrated. You've got to close the eyepiece and then go through the menu and manually recalibrate the screen. What I've noticed is when powering up the scope, you've got to do it 2 or 3 times to get that message to go off. It may just be the conditions that I've been hunting in recently, but I've talked to a lot of Trijicon owners and they seem to think that that's the norm. So that was one thing that I found a little bit cumbersome, was continuing to have to refresh the screen, especially if you're stalking up on hogs or trying to shoot at coyotes or something. You don't want to close that lens cap. You don't want to have to take your eye off the target. If I was stalking up on a hog and I knew that there was one a couple hundred yards away, I was already nuking this optic while I was walking up, and I was nuking it 2 or 3 times because I knew if I didn't, I'd get up there and it would tell me that it would need to be done. Didn't particularly care for that. There's a lot of Trijicon owners that I've spoke to that say, you know what, that's just part of it, and I get it. So it was something I was able to get used to, but I want you to let you know that the nuke process is not as simple as some other out there. The fact that it doesn't have an internal video recorder, I've heard some things out there that say that the BAE core that makes these scopes so incredible to look through, there's some type of conflict with not being able to include a video recorder. I don't know that to be truth, but it would be really nice to see an $8,000 optic like this include an internal video recorder. The convenience of having something like that, like what you have with Pulsar and with FLIR, makes it so easy to go up, hit a button, and it starts recording instead of having to worry about the MDVR, which is strapped to a pouch, and having to turn this on, make sure this light's blinking. And also the video quality that you get out of the MDVR is nothing like what you get with an internal video recorder. So, not particularly fond of that. I'm really not particularly fond of any scopes that don't include an internal video recorder. But that's just me, because I'm creating content for others to see, and it makes it more difficult to get the best picture image out of something like that. For those of you that don't care about that, that's not anything that you should be concerned about. If you don't care about recording videos, you just want to go out there and hunt, kill hogs, coyotes, whatever you're hunting, then that's a non-issue for you. And that's something that can not be something that would hinder you from wanting to purchase something like this. Like I said, at Outdoor Legacy Gear, when you do purchase the REAP-IR, it does include all the MDVR, the cable, the anchor battery pack that you'll need for it. The price on it's $7,999. As far as the other dislikes I had, there weren't any others other than the nuke process, and also with the internal video recorder. That's a non-concern to some people. The menu process, although it does take some getting used to going through the menus, it's like any other scope. You get used to it. I didn't find that to be particularly difficult. But I'm going to tell you, this scope it's difficult to be a walk up and shoot right away type of scope, what I found. And that's a lot of what I do when I stalk, when I go through woods. I'm spotting with a handheld, I'm walking, and I need to be able to switch from my handheld to my scope right away, raise up my rifle and shoot. This is one that you've got to prep before taking a shot. So if, a walk up and shoot type of scope, this is, you're going to really have to get used to it. But with all that being said, still the best thermal scope, best thermal image in the game, the Trijicon REAP-IR. When you look through this thing, you will not be dissatisfied. It will hold zero. It's got the DLOC QD Mount on it, and it comes with it, and easy to put on and off, returns it back to zero. And I've taken this off several rifles, put it back on and used it, and it's never been off. So again, Trijicon REAP-IR, best in the game. If you purchase it, you will not be dissatisfied, but I want to let you know that there are some things out there with the scope that you need to know. They're not necessarily negatives, but there are some things that you're just going to take some getting used to and that you need to know. Appreciate you joining me this week. I appreciate you checking out the full review of the Trijicon REAP-IR. We do stuff like this on this channel all the time, reviews, hog hunts, coyote hunts. We'll be reviewing some more optics coming up. We've got the 2019 SHOT Show, which Jason and I will be out there. Jason from Outdoor Legacy Gear. If you have any questions at all about any of these night vision and thermal scopes, give him a call at 877-350-1818. Again, that's Jason at Outdoor Legacy Gear. You can also find him on the OutdoorLegacyGear.com website, and go check out the Late Night Vision Show podcast. We're talking about this stuff every week. So appreciate you joining me this week. Next week, we're going to get back to hunting. Got more hunting clips. We're going to be using the 6.5 Creedmoor, the Diamondback, and also the Pulsar XP50 Trail. Hadn't used it in a while, but looking forward to get back on it. Been testing out some scopes and different optics. But after the SHOT Show, we'll have a lot of new things to talk about, a lot of breaking news. Thank you for joining me. Come back next week. Keep making them bacon pancakes, and y'all have a good week. Thank you.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, you can do so by just clicking on the HansETX logo right below me. Also, the Late Night Vision Show podcast. To subscribe to that YouTube channel, just hit this logo right here to the left. And to watch related videos, you can hit right down there in the corner. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, and keep making them bacon pancakes.